It's Paul Whiteman Presents. Brought to you by the makers of Chase and Sanborn Coffee and Tenderleaf Tea, with the Whiteman Orchestra, the modern airs of the Whiteman Alumni Association, our guest Bert Lahr, yours truly Bill Goodwin, and starring Dinah Shore.
Good evening, everybody. Hiya, Pops.
Hiya, Dinah. What do you know for sure?
Well, I'm all set to move in the groove with a new ditty for all the boys in service, here or wherever they may be. Do you follow me?
Every step of the way.
Fellas, you're going to be awfully happy to know they're either too young or too old. You marched away and left this town as empty as can be. I can't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. For there is no secret lover that the draft board didn't discover. They're either too young or too old. They're either too gray or too grassy green. The pickings is poor and the crop is lean. What's good is in the army. What's left will never harm me. They're either too old or too young. So, darling, you'll never get stung. Tomorrow I go hiking with that Eagle Scout unless I get a call from Grandpa for a snappy game of chess. I'm finding it easy to say good as gold. They're either too young or too old. They're either too warm or too cold. They're either too fast or too fast asleep. So, darling, believe me, I'm yours to keep. There isn't any gravy. The gravy's in the Navy. They're either too fresh or too stale. There is no available mail. I will confess to one romance I'm sure you will allow. He tries to serenade me, but his voice is changing now. I'm finding it easy to say good as gold. They're either too young or too old. They're either too bald or too bold. I'm down to the wheelchair and bassinet. My heart just refuses to get upset. I simply can't compel it to, with no Marines to tell it to. I'm either their first breath of spring, or else I'm their last little fling. I either get a fossil or an adolescent pup. I either have to hold him off or help to hold him up. The battle is on, but the fortress will hold. They're either too young or too old. I'll never, never fail you when you are in Australia, or up in the Aleutians, or off among the Russians, or flying over Egypt. Your heart will never be dipped, and when you get to India, I'll still be what I've been to you. I look the field over, and lo and behold, they're either too young or too old.
Grand. Say, Dinah.
Yes, Bill?
You know, I've been wondering, I've been thinking,
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I mean is, Dinah, would you like to go swimming with me tomorrow?
Oh, gee, I'm not sure, Bill. I don't know if I ought to.
Well, why not? What are you afraid of? I know a swell spot where we'll be all alone, just you and I together.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, come on. I love to swim. Why, the last time I went to the beach, I swam out so far, they had to drag me back 4 times.
Then why did you keep swimming out like that?
Lady lifeguard.
You would think of that.
Well, of course, I'm really at my best on a surfboard, you know. One time I was speeding toward the shore at 50 miles an hour, when all of a sudden my surfboard hit a rock.
Gosh, what did you do?
What could I do? I fell off.
If you're such a swimmer, I suppose you've noticed the new bathing suits the girls are wearing.
No, Dinah, I haven't. What are they showing in bathing suits this year?
Plenty, son, plenty. Hello, plenty.
Hello, Paul. I'm trying to get Dinah to go swimming with me.
Well, you got nice weather for it.
Oh, I know, Pops, but the last time I went swimming, I had bad luck.
How come?
Well, I was wearing the cutest new bathing suit. It was white with red flower in it. But 10 minutes after I got there, a terrible thing happened.
What do you mean?
I fell in the water and got it all wet.
Oh, you women. Paul, I'll bet you like to swim, don't you?
Oh, I sure do. I just bought me a new Victory bathing suit.
Victory bathing suit?
Yeah, I put it on, took a deep breath, and opened up a second front.
Well, Pops, that's pretty good. But you know what I always say?
What do you always say, son?
Well, Paul, I always say, strike up the band and light red fire. Coffee rationing is over. Uncle Sam says you're free to enjoy all the coffee you've been longing for, so have another cup. Or now that the iced coffee rush is on, have another glass of delicious iced Chase and Sanborn coffee. It brings you a tremendous bonus of extra rich, fresh flavor, just what it takes to make up for the melting of the ice. Notice how many people are ordering iced coffee in hotels and restaurants. It's more popular this year than ever before. And in that field, you know, Chase and Sanborn are leading coffee roasters. So take a tip from these eating places and get more flavor. Go the limit. Get all the flavor you can. And from now on, enjoy delicious Chase and Sanborn coffee, iced or hot, as often as you like. Among the outstanding alumni of the Paul Whiteman organization is that popular singing group, the Modern Airs. You know them through their countless recordings and their radio and picture appearances with the country's big-name bands. But few people know that the Modern Airs were discovered by Pops singing in an amateur contest in 1933. Later on, they became a real part of the Whiteman Orchestra and introduced the modern style of four-part harmony so popular with singing groups today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Modern Airs.
Well, kids, a lot has happened since those days in 1933.
Yes, Pops, and speaking for the group, I'd say the years have broadened us considerably.
Well, they ain't exactly thinned me down, son.
Gee, I can still remember the way you fellas had everybody talking with your arrangement of stomping at the Savoy.
And just to show that the folks knew what they were talking about, we're coming up with that arrangement right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Modern Airs with Marion Hutton and Stomping at the Savoy.
How my heart is singing while the band is swinging. Never tired of romping and stomping with you while at the Savoy. What joy! Savoy, Savoy, with you. Romancing at the Savoy while dancing at the Savoy. Keep dancing at the Savoy. Why don't you give your feet a chance to dance your form? Just like that singing vine. Your lips so warm and sweet as wine. Your cheeks so soft and close to mine divine. How my heart is singing while the band is swinging. Never tired of romping and stomping with you while at the Savoy. What joy, perfect holiday, Savoy. We can glide and sway, Savoy. With you it's a pleasure stopping at the Savoy, at the Savoy, Savoy. With you it's a pleasure stopping at the Savoy.
Thanks a lot, kids, and don't go away. That's the kind of stuff we can use some more of a little later on.
Well, when it comes to rough and ready comedy, we can't think of anyone we'd rather hear from than Bert Lahr. At present, Bert is demonstrating his elfish brand of humor on the MGM lot in Meet the People. Tonight, he's all set for another fight to the finish with the King's English, and if we know Bert, he'll come out a poor second. And here he is, the man who posed for the face on the barroom floor, Bert Lahr.
Not so fast, not so fast. What do you mean, face on the barroom floor?
Well, but Bert, I was only...
What's wrong with my face? What's wrong with my face? I'll have you know that this classic profile has been handed down from one generation to another.
Well, it looks like it's been dropped a couple of times.
I don't get it.
Well, I'm sorry, Bert.
And don't call me Bert. Heretofore, you will kindly address me in the manner to which I have become disgusting. The name is Bertrand.
Well, but Bert, this is not like you. Why all this sudden formality?
And why not, pray tell? I'm simply living up to my family traditions. It may interest you to know, Mr. Goodwin, that I am descended from the height of nobility.
The height of nobility?
To be sure. I am what you call a scrupulous guardian of the niceties. Why, I'm even reading now.
Oh, no, Bert. You reading?
Well, certainly. You want to know something?
What?
That Superman's wonderful.
Well, besides your extensive reading, do you have any other cultural pursuits?
Cultural pursuit?
Yeah.
Cultural? Oh, don't be observed. Have you heard of the Lahr stable?
No, I never have.
Bill, you should see my favorite saddle horse.
Oh, Bert, is it a thoroughbred?
Is it a thoroughbred? Oh, Bill, you're asinine. My good man, you've heard of Gallant Boy out of Blue Danube by Son of Fury?
Yes.
Well, my horse is Lady Bountiful by King's Minion out of Glue Factory by way of Pomona.
Well, with all this family tradition, Bert, you must be in a constant social whirl.
That I am.
Yes.
I am.
You are?
Yeah. Why, only last week I attended a very, very swanky affair.
Really?
Nothing but dukes and duchesses, earls and earlesses.
Oh, earlesses?
Yeah. When I walked in the door, a guy comes up to me and says, good evening. I am Lord Dillingwaite Scrumsbury, Knight of the Bath, Order of the Garter.
What'd you say?
Pleased to meet you. I'm Bert Lahr, afternoon in the shower, Order of the Board of Health.
And may I say that's a very fitting title, Bert.
Oh, what a party, what a party. What elegance. As I strode magnificently into the palatial ballroom, I was the cynosure of all eyes. Don't ask me how to spell it. William, I was at my repulsive best. With that, the hostess fluttered up, held out her dainty white hand for me to kiss, and William,
Yes?
guess what I did?
Well, no, what'd you do?
I bit it.
Bert, you bit her hand?
Yeah, these days, meat is meat.
Listen, now, I thought that you came from a refined family.
Well, naturally. Why, my father always traveled in the best circles.
Oh, really? Was he in society, Bert?
No, one leg was shorter than the other. And then take my aunt. Oh, lovely lady. She was what you say, very, very distinguée. That's French for distinky. Look, here's her picture in this locket.
Well, let me see it, Bert. Well, that's a picture of a fish.
Of course. That's my Aunt Chovy. It's down here, that's all I know.
Let's leave it there.
And then, William, there was my great-great-great-uncle.
Yes.
Sir Grunion Belcher. Sometimes known as the bicarbonate kid.
Well, what about him?
Why, the poor man went crazy. You see, he didn't get the woman he loved.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Well, not only that, but his brother went crazy, too.
What happened to him?
He got her.
Well, this is all very well, Bert, but were any of your ancestors really important in history?
Were any of them? Oh, well.
Were they?
Were they? Have you ever heard of Don Quixote Lahr?
No, what did he do?
Why, he left Italy with Christopher Columbus.
He did?
Yeah, he knew what was coming.
I see what you mean.
Well, then take Sir Reginald Quagmire Lahr
Nice
of
name.
King Arthur's court.
Yes.
He was knighted by the king and wore a suit of armor 8 feet tall.
8 feet tall?
Yeah, the knights were longer in those days. And of course, you've heard of Monsignor Paradis Lahr.
Oh, yes, yes.
He discovered the Fountain of Youth with Ponce de Leon.
Well, did the fountain give him youth, Bert?
Did it? He'd be here today if he hadn't choked on his teething ring when he was 96. Well, would that I lived in those romantic days of chivalry and knighthood. Do you know that no woman was allowed to venture out without a knight for protection? Except, of course, Lady Godiva.
Lady Godiva?
Yes, she went out without her nightie.
You must be mighty proud of the early Lahrs, Bert, with their great wealth and prestige.
Yeah, but after all, what did it get them? Were they happy? When you get right down to it, what is happiness? Happiness is contentment. Happiness is peace of mind. Happiness is just a thing called a joy. He's got a smile that makes the lilacs want to grow. How do you like that? The guy smiles and lilacs grows. I wonder if I could get him to come over and grin at my broccoli. But I don't need Joe, and I don't need lilacs. As a matter of fact, I don't need broccoli. All I want is just an old hat for a crown, just a place to lay me down, and just a shanty in old shanty town.
Dinah Shore sings a love song. It reaches the heart of everyone who's ever been in love. By way of confirmation, we offer Dinah Shore singing In the Blue of Evening.
In the blue of evening, when you appear close to me, dear one, in the dusk we'll share a dream revelry. In the blue of evening, while crickets call and stars are falling, the starlit sky, you'll come to me. In the shadows of the night we'll stand, I'll touch your hand, and then softly as your lovely eyes entreat, again in the blue of evening, night winds above whispering I love you. There we will find romance in the blue of evening. Softly as your lovely eyes entreat, our lips will meet again in the blue of evening. Night winds above whispering I love you. There we will find romance in the blue of
These hot summer days bring us special problems, but here's one that's happily solved. It's the question of what tea to get for flavor to offset melting ice. Now, practically everybody likes iced tea, but nobody wants it watery. So the thing to do is get richer tea, Tenderleaf brand tea to start with. This finer blend brings you the extra rich flavor of the tea plant's choice top leaves. Better for hot tea, and so naturally, the foundation for superb iced tea. Enjoy it cooling, refreshing, and supremely delicious with meals or between. Tenderleaf brand tea, remember, the name is of first importance. It comes in packages, 2 convenient sizes, and in tasteless filter paper tea balls. Right now, your grocer may have difficulty keeping Tenderleaf tea on hand all the time. So if he runs out, please understand and cooperate. Then, next time, ask again for Tenderleaf brand tea or Tenderleaf brand tea balls. Through the medium of their music, our neighbors to the south have done much to create a warmer understanding between the Americas. As a tribute to this friendship, Dinah Shore, Paul Whiteman, and the Modernaires with Miss Marion Hutton bring us a medley from south of the border. Perfidia, Quero Mi Mucho, and Brazil.
I was born to be just you.
Brazil, where hearts were entertaining you. We stood beneath an amber moon and softly murmured someday soon tomorrow was another day. The morning found me miles away, with still a million things to say.
Recalling thrills of our love,
There's one thing I'm certain of: return
I will
to old Brazil. I will return to Brazil. Brazil.
Be with us again next Sunday when Dinah, Paul, and all of us will be here, along with our special guests, George Burns and Gracie Allen. Meanwhile, when it's coffee you're buying, ask for Chase and Sanborn coffee. When it's tea, Tenderleaf brand tea. Chase and Sanborn coffee, Tenderleaf tea, two favorites for days like these. Ask your grocer for them both. The Modern Airs with Marion Hutton will soon be seen in the Universal picture Crazy House. This is Bill Goodwin saying good night from Hollywood's Radio City. Good night, everybody.
Now that coffee rationing is over, everybody can enjoy more iced Chase and Sanborn coffee. It's the newer, modern, better way to cool off delightfully. And the beauty of it is that you're drinking coffee, finer coffee, with all its advantages. The satisfying flavor is there, the richest we've ever made. The boost is there to help you get things done, just as much as if you drank it hot. In fact, everything that makes coffee America's favorite beverage is yours in iced coffee, with the added pleasure of its refreshing coolness. The bonus of delicious fresh flavor that makes Chase and Sanborn coffee so popular the year round is just what it takes to match the melting ice, and more than match it. So, when you buy coffee this week, and from now on, get extra flavor, wholehearted and satisfying, to enjoy either iced or hot. Ask for Chase and Sanborn coffee. This is the National Broadcasting Company.